Okay. Okay, friends, welcome back to another session of Thinking on Destiny. We are in the process of learning how to create thoughts or how to think how to think and live in a day-to-day life without creating a thoughts, which means without creating a destiny. That is the ultimate thing that we are actually learning. Before we go with the next point that he is going to tell, he gave us a 32-point guide kind of thing for us, the Percival. So we will go to the next point. We have finished until now 22 and 20. Before we go to 23, let us meditate on Percival consciousness for a while. Please sit in a meditative posture, cross your legs, clasp your hands, and close your eyes. Observe your deep breath. Everything that we are believing, everything that we are manifesting is from the thought that we release today. Please rub your palms. Keep on your eyes for a few seconds and open your eyes with a beautiful smile on your face. Now, let's start the 23rd point. In the light and from out of the light, now you see that each of the lives you have lived is a dream. And you see that by thinking with the senses, you dreamed the dream over and over again and again. Through each life and each life after death. That's what he is mentioning in this point. We will see in detail. It is having this point is 23 point is having a lot of things that he discussed, and we will discuss in detail. So here is thing that with the light, because that is we are all that light, right? With the light, and from out of that light, because when we expel out of that light, you now see. So you expelled out of the light and you again go into the light. So because you expelled, that's why all these dreams came. Now with the balance of your thoughts and mind, then you again enter into the light. So when you enter into that light, you see this entire life is a dream. Entire life is just the dream. It is like a dream. And you are thinking, because each life you are thinking by your senses. You're thinking you are the body, because you're thinking by senses means you're thinking you are the body, and you dream this life again and again, over and over, again and again. So what? Each life and each life after death too. So this is what? Each life and death, you came and you are dreaming and you are coming back and you are dreaming and you are coming back. This is what is happening for each and every life. What is this? The realization. So here, when you are with that light, what did you realize? You realized all lives are dreams. Whatever the lives that we have lived are nothing but dreams. That is what you have understood all the lives are dreams. You now see that each of our life is like just like a dream. At this stage, the doer awakens to the truth of its existence through countless lifetimes. Each human life revealed a dream state, a projection of consciousness through the senses. By identifying the body and sense thinking, the doer hypnotized itself, believing that it was the body, it was the gender, it was the personality of each life. That's what. So here he's projecting. Suppose there is a cricket match going on in London, let us take. So, but all of us are sitting it in our comfort of our homes, and you are watching that cricket match in our own plasma TV. What's happening? Are the players are coming to your home and playing? No. There is somewhere something else. The game is happening, and the technology was absorbed that, and it came and projected here. So with that projection only, you are actually seeing, thinking it's a real thing, because somewhere it's happening, but you are feeling that emotion as if you are just watching in your front. Similarly, in our life, we project life by just absorbing everything, because the technology is absorbing and then projecting. Here we, with our own senses, with our eyes, with our ears, with our thing, we absorb everything and then we project it. So that is what we believe. We believe whatever that we are observing, that's only we are projecting it into the thing. So this is what is happening in each and every lifetime. So most of the times, in one of the studies, in one of the few authors says that whenever you're dreaming also, here he is saying this, all the lives are dreams, but even whenever you are dreaming also, they say that the dreams are nothing but some of the storage that you have happened in that seed, right? The seed, that whatever that instances, whatever that incidents that you just stored, right? That only you are saying, it's nothing new. That's what. Here he is saying, when you are in the light, you feel that each and every life is a just the dream, because each dream you are with your sense thinking, you hypnotize yourself that you are this body, you are this personality, I am a female, I am a male, this kind of personalities you just incorporate. Each incarnation becomes dream layered upon the previous dreams. There is a one layer of the dream, and then when another incarnation is another dream, like that. Each incarnation is vivid, emotional, and illusionary. Everything is illusionary. Now, start thinking with the reason instead of senses. So because you, on all these lifetimes, you started thinking with your senses, thinking you are the body or all the things. Now start thinking with the reason instead of senses. That's when the doer awakens, realizes it was never the body. When you think of this, you will understand that it was never the body. Through all these births and deaths were the states of dream consciousness within eternal continue of the self. Whatever the self that is continuing, whatever the consciousness that is continuing, which is eternal, and all these lifetimes are just the dreams of that particular consciousness. That is what you will get as a realization. The source of dream. Thinking with body mind. The source of dream is thinking with body mind. So because why the dream is happening, because whenever you come to this, you are thinking that this body is Prasanna, this body is Risha, this is my name, this is what I can do, this is what I cannot do. So we started thinking that body is our thing, and our little mind, whatever here is, that is our mind. We hypnotized yourself, because we hypnotize ourselves thinking that the body mind is into the nature. We thinking everything with the nature, right? We hypnotize ourselves. This hypnosis begins when consciousness identified with senses. When it will start, when consciousness, because when within the mother's womb, the consciousness is not identified with the body, but when you come out, then you started, consciousness is identified with the body. So that's where it started. Thinking with the body mind means thinking through the filters of sensory perceptions, pleasures, fear, rather than through the pure inner faculties of feeling and desire. So what is that mean? Suppose if you are seeing the world, right? If you are seeing the world, so if I keep this, if this is a plain glasses, if I'm seeing the world like this, suppose if I keep that like this, obviously the world will become kind of a dark, isn't it? Because I keep some dark glasses, then I will see. So instead of seeing it directly, I'm seeing through some glasses, so it is blurred, or it is some kind of the glasses thing. So similarly here also, seeing the world through senses means you are not actually seeing to the original that consciousness. You are seeing through that lenses. What is that lenses? Perception, judgment, pleasure, fear. So all these inner faculties are coming. All these are all the coming up. But instead of seeing that what is exactly the right inner faculties are thinking and desire, right? Feeling and desire. You are not thinking. Through this identification, the doer exiled itself from the light. So whenever you identified yourself as a body mind, you exhaled from the consciousness. You exhaled from that light. Suppose I can take an example in Sita Yanam. Whenever that those thing, right? What's the name? Jaya and some other name, right? Jaya Vijaya something. So those people were the Vaikuntha Dwarapalakas, right? So when the jealous thought came, so they were expelled from that Vaikuntha. So then they have to take different births in every birth they took the different bodies. Finally, Ravana and Vibhishana, they took those Dwarapalakas took as the Ravana and Vibhishana, and once they passed, then they are able to go back to that consciousness, right? So similarly here also, through this identification, so the doer is actually, instead of using the light, pure awareness or immortal nature, they are actually going with the sensory perceptions, pleasures and fears. The body mind binds one cycle after the another with the birth and death. So your body mind, if you are not actually understanding, this body mind binds one cycle of birth and death. Cycle of birth and death, it's going. The feeling and desire minds, when purified, reconnect one to the light. The feeling and desire minds, when purified, when this feeling and desire mind is purified, it reconnects with the light. It is always reconnecting back with the light. When thinking shifts from body sensation to the righteousness and reasoning, the illusion ends. Whenever you are not thinking with your body mind, you start thinking the righteousness and reasoning, whatever that illusion that you have, it is ending. The dream collapses. The true awakening begins. The true awakening is starting. Return from the balance of the right. Return from the balance, the light. So with the body mind balanced and with the body mind balanced and controlled, you have redeemed yourself to re-enter into the light. Whenever your body mind is controlled, whenever your body mind is balanced, then you are entering back to your light. When the doer learns what is control the sensation, what we should do in order to go, you should control your sensations. You should not feel like, oh, I want to taste this, I want to hear this, that no, whatever it comes to your life, you need to be able to understand, you need to be able to enjoy that. So you control your sensation, no longer reacting to the attraction or aversion. Controlling the sensation, no longer they are not actually attracting to anything, or they are not doing any aversion, and balance the feelings and desires. It naturally returns to its original state. Naturally, it is returning to the original state, that is the light of consciousness. This redemption, not from the sin, this is not from the sin, or not from self-hypnosis, or not from the bondage to the nature. So if it is comes, then you are not actually entering into the light. Here, the doer is experiencing the deep peace, freedom from suffering, because it no longer mistakes the transient phenomena of the truth. It is not mistaken actually what is the truth. So they are able to understand the truth, right? So when you are actually binded by all these things, then you feel suffering. When you are actually not binded. So I'll just give an example where that recently I heard. When you go to the high school reunion, let us take, after 10 years you went to the high school reunion. Suppose you don't remember anything. You don't remember anything. So what will be your state of mind? You will go just enjoy with everyone, because oh, that time, remember, in the sense, the things that is weighing down. I'm not saying that forget everybody. I'm saying that the in some other in the high school, they means they behaved mean with you, let us take. If you don't remember, or if you are not actually considering that now, then you feel so light. Otherwise, oh, that time you did this, oh, that time this boy did that to the girl. So everything, whenever, like why I said is, at least 10 years only the high school reunion will happen, and they will go, right? When they go, they'll start actually remembering all this baggage from their mind, which means all the baggage, all that nonsense was stored in the mind. Because of that, you are weighing down. Because of that, you are um, not able to feel that light. So when you stop all these things, you can take that day, whatever the day it comes, right? You can take it as very coolly, just like that. So because it no longer transient problems, because when you know the truth, there is no problems. When you don't know the truth, only the problem. So when we know the truth, there is no problem at all. Seeing the humanity with the compassionate and clarity. You see every humanity, then think that humanity and see that human life is a how needless. The other doers should continue to doom themselves to sorrow. There is no need to go to the sorrow. Somebody died. What is dying? Actually, here it is dying is only their body. Their soul is still arriving. So all these are all, when you understand the truth, there is nothing to feel sorry. In this light, the awakened one perceives the human condition. Millions of souls still lost in the same hypnosis of sensations, endlessly repeating the karmic patterns. There are so many millions of people on this earth who are caught up in this birth and death cycle only because they are thinking that their body is themselves, and they are actually doing everything and anything that can be done. How ignorance perpetuates suffering. So here, see how ignorance, because not knowing what is your true nature, it is perpetuating to the suffering. How desires kindle the fires of conflict and restlessness. When I want something and you want the same thing, there is only one of that particular piece is there, piece, toy, or whatever it is, right? It could be home, or it could be whatever it is. So when you want it, when other person wants it, that's where it starts with the trembling. That's where that restlessness started. Okay, how how right thinking is only cure. How this can be cured only when you are actually thinking right. Yet with the understanding that compassion with that understanding comes with the compassion, not with the judgment. So you need to get that the understanding of the life with the compassion. Do not judge anything. The liberated doer loves and pities humanity, wishing to bring them light, but also the realizing that each soulmate awaken through its own experience. Each soulmate has awakened its own experience through our experiences, through our light. The temptation to teach and its understanding. What is the temptation? So when you understand this, you will get the temptation. You would like to see that the men and give the men an understanding. Oh, why you are actually going after? So I wanted to teach them, but you also see that men must have saved themselves. But you also come to an understanding that spirituality means not that one we can impose on others. They also should learn for themselves. This is the essential insight. You also see that the men should actually evolve by themselves. You are not going to give any gyan to them. You can only participate, you can only practice and get the gyan to yourself. For anybody, you cannot give. Okay, that is the one. So these teachers, prophets, masters of the past life has at marker. There are so many people, masters and all those things. What is that? Twisted their teachings and dogmas, turned them into the religious fear and dependency, and worshipped the teacher instead of living as a teacher. So here all these things, right? Because of all these things, like twisted teachings. So teachings for teacher are, some teachings say, oh, if you don't do this, this will happen. If you don't do this, so God is not a jailer, or is not punishing to you. That supreme consciousness is the same within you, within me, and within everybody. So when it will happen, when that supreme consciousness is the same, so everyone try to grab it. Similarly, if you are seeing that old way of going, right, the green peppers or all those things, the black pepper when it came to the tender, right, that will be the green pepper. These are all the things which are very useful. If you see, everybody's household is carrying some kind of herbs, because you know that from Indian cooking that what do you say that. Whatever the diagnosis or whatever the cure, you started from your kitchen itself by using the so many herbs and all. So that's what here is happening. So turn into the religions with the fear and dependencies. Here all our religions are fear-based religions, fear-based dependency. That is what they create. If you don't do this might happen. If you do that, so nobody in this actual Bhagavad Gita or any other scriptures or Vedas, none of them they said like, oh, you need to do this, you need to wear this sari, you need to do this way only, you cannot come out of it. Nowhere it was written. But we are just thinking because those are our belief system. Thus one wise ones what to do more than show the way they prolong their slavery. The wise people here, they will say, they will not talk much instead, but they will do and they will try to prove themselves as a self kind of right. So they can take it as an example. Each soul must reach the point of wariness with the sensation, the exhaustion of the body desires, and before the truly seeks the self knowledge. Each person, each soul must come to a awareness and the sensation. What is that awareness? So anybody, in order to get an aware get some feeling like, okay, this material things I don't need it, what happens is usually that material things they will possess and they will enjoy it more, and then at one point they will just exhaust. Okay, they'll exhale all those things, expel all those things, and they will just, with that exhaustion, they will stop all these worldly desires, and their focus will be on only one thing, that is the self knowledge. What is it? What is that Bhagavad Gita says? What is that Upanishad says about this self knowledge? What is the useful? So he will go and contemplate on the self knowledge in each and every point. The freedom from sympathy to the self delusion. Freedom from self sympathy. So previously, sometimes whenever you say, "Oh, that guy is not good," or he is not good enough or anything, then you may give some kind of the fruit or food, or maybe some kind of, what do you say, some couple of dollars, so that he can get his own food or something like that, right? So each one, the knowledge frees from the uh, so that is that's a compassion. So the awakened was told, whenever that the soul was awakened, it feels love and compassion for each and everyone that who is suffering, because that would mean falling back into the hypnotic dream of identification. Because if you are not actually helping, so sometimes the people may be under the hypnotic conditions of in a kind of a dream, they will be going to that god, this god or something. So, in order to bring them out, then you will be awakened. The true compassion in illuminated detachment. What is the true compassion in illuminated detachment? Helping without being bound. Help, but don't get bound to yourself. Loving, losing oneself. Love anybody, but don't lose yourself. Understand without being drawn. Understanding before being drawn into the other's illusions. So these are all the points that was that's the one, that illusion, that true compassion is not about the illuminated or feeling the body. It is the understanding that our body mind is illuminated, and we have to be stay away from it, stay the detached. The self delusion ends when the attraction and repulsion, when the attraction self delusion ends when the attraction and repulsion, preferences and prejudice no longer sway the thinker. So here the self delusion, whatever the delusion that you have, right, with when attraction and repulsion, some things you are getting attracted, something you are getting revolted, something you are liking and something you are hating. So when they will not exist when you started going from doer to the thinker. That's what the doer now acts as the reasons and righteousness. Now the doer will act based on the reason and righteousness, and not as an emotional impulse. seeing the mechanism of bondage, seeing the mechanism. What is that bondage that you see that your thoughts and your bonds that held you are earth to the nature. So whatever our thoughts, whatever we want today, if you are actually started digging, why do you want it, why do you want it, then it is nothing but it is the earth's nature. It is the earth nature. It doesn't mean that you like it. Earth, if they want, it can fill so many things, but it is the earth's nature to fill every attachment, every repeated desire, and every emotional fixation. There are unbalanced thoughts that their consciousness to the physical existence. In any case, every attachment, every repeated desire, every emotional fluctuation, there are unbalanced thoughts. Your thoughts are not balanced. So there is somewhere some unbalanced thoughts are there that are there consciousness to the physical existence. Each difficulty or a suffering encountered, what was mirror of the unbalanced thought? What was the mirror of unbalanced thought? How do it look like? When the thought was remind, exclaimed, understood, and brought to the imbalance, the bondages get dissolved. This bondage will will be dissolved when you are actually awakened, when you are understand everything. So the awakened source, how it will be, he is a the so, the he will be out of the prison. What is that? In the prison he was out of I always had my own prison, that self-made. This is me, this is my abilities, these are the things, all these things are my self-made prison. You will come out of it. The sky is freedom to always thinking with the wisdom. Whenever you see, just always thinking with the reason, whatever the thought it was released, and each balanced thought returns a fragment of self back to the wholeness. So whenever your thought was balanced, whenever your fragmented thought was balanced, right? So when it balanced, then the thought returns to the wholeness. So each thought by thought you need to balance and send back to that wholeness. The method of total liberation. When we will get the total liberation, you will see that you created the thoughts by thinking, and by thinking you must balance them, and to free yourself also you must balance them. You did it. You release thousands of thoughts unknowingly or knowingly, but now it is your time to eliminate all other thoughts, and only there are the thoughts which are regarding to our kids, that they want to study well, or return the whole family safe back from the vacation. All these are also the thoughts, right? So with all these thoughts, if you want to get the balanced, you need to get the balance. Freedom is not achieved by the denial or escape. If you deny or escape the freedom, you will not get a freedom. That there is an inside thing will be pricking, but you need to balance your thoughts, then you will be happy. Every thought must be forced, level of understood and brought into the heart, level of understood and brought into the harmony. As the doer balances each thought, the part belongs to the nature, returns to the nature. Whenever you are balancing, the part belongs to the nature, it goes to the nature. The part belongs to triune self, that is immortal self, returns to the light. This is the process until the being is completely done. So completely done. So he is the one. So every thought he needs to observe, and he needs to send the thought that belongs to the nature to the nature, the thought that belongs to triune self to the triune self. That is the balancing of the thoughts. This process purifies you. Means this entire process purifies the being so completely. The completion of the learning. So you learn as a balance of each thought, as a balance to the last. You have learned it all, and that is possible for you to learn from your experiences with the nature. It is possible to learn the experiences from your nature. This is the culmination of human evolution. The doer has contemplated its education and its blood of school matter, sensation and duality. It includes what not to do. That means what not to do from all these things, what we should not do. We should not identify ourselves with the nature. We should not identify ourselves with the body mind. What to do? To think and act through reason and righteousness. Think and act through reasoning and righteousness. At this point, the doer lives in the world, but it's not of it. Free luminous and full of consciousness. So when everybody is like that, when everybody is thinking their reason and righteousness, and everybody is becoming a right, then you are a luminous light, the state of the reasoning and light. With and as a reason, you know what to do. When you are with the reason, you know what to do. Here, the doer does not seek the light. He won't seek the light outside. He know he is the light. Thinking is clear, direct, self-luminous. Every act arises from the equilibrium of the reason, not from compulsion, emotion, or external influence. This is the true awakening, not a mystical trance, but the lucidity of this one is eternally aware and balanced and free. The knower is always eternally aware, but the problem is our doers or thinkers are not still gone there yet. But one thing at a time in your lifetime, if you are a doer consciousness until now, go to the thinker consciousness. If you are thinker conscious until now, go to the spiritual context, or go to the spiritual things that when you are actually combining and doing, right. So when you are not, so when this is not is happening, right. So I lost in thoughts. Okay. Every act arises. So whenever you are that self-luminous, every act is arising equilibrium of reason, not from compulsion. You are not doing any compulsion. You are not doing any task out of emotion. No external influences on you. Only your inner light. Due to the inner light only you are doing it. This is the true awakening. Not a mystical trance, but a lucid clarity, who you are eternally. So you are balancing and you are freeing your thoughts. You are balancing yourself and you are freeing your thoughts with that. So here, what are the points we learn? In this point, what are the points we learn? First one is life as a dream. But once you reconnected with the light, because you came from that light, once you reconnected from the light, you think the life as a dream. Each human life is revealed one dream, a projection of the doer's mind through nature only. Every birth, every experience is a part of your repeated hypnotic dream, continuous, because the doer keeps identifying with the sense of the body and mind. Some people will say, oh, same dream is coming again and again, or something like that, right? Which means there is something which is already there. Projection is there within you, and that only you are coming. Within that seed is already there, that is coming as again and again in your mind, because the mind is diverting your awareness to over there so that you can take up the job. Because this lifetime, I said, oh, if I had billions of dollars, then I would have done this. Some thoughts I released. Okay. Then next lifetime it came, you have all the things, but you are indulging so much into the outer world, you are just simply enjoying. But at one point, it's the nature's duty in order to remind you that what is that you came for it. So when it is reminding, then if you can take that as a positive thing and move on, then you will achieve this is what your thought only, you release it, come back. Instead, if you are just thrown away the things and you don't believe it, then the actual problem comes. This dream contains like life after life and through cycle after death. This dream continues the life after life and through cycle of death after rebirth. This is what is happening in this. The dream begins when being thinks through senses. When this dream begins, whenever the being start thinking through senses. Like I gave an example, when the kid is in the mother's womb, no need to worry anything. Everything is getting supplied through your cord. But once he come out of it, there is a cut between that thing, right? The food that is coming from the mother's womb, no way come. Then he started thinking, what to do? I need to earn my own food. Then started crying. Then started crying. That's what that is the first cry. That's what he's saying. That when the senses, when you are not able to influence the senses, you are not able to influence the people around, so then you will just go after them, you will not go to that within that. So when you are going outside, the dream continues life after life. The dream begins through the senses, identify itself as a physical body rather than external conscious behind it. It won't identify itself as a physical body rather than external conscious behind. The dream ends when one awakens to the light. So this dream ends. Suppose once awakens to the light, this dream will go. That is, when thinking there shifts from the body mind to the feeling and desire mind is an elegant with the righteousness and reasoning. So when thinking with the shifts from the body, it is feeling and desire mind. And enlightenment, this process is happening whenever you started thinking with the reasoning. The source of exile unwritten. So we are exiled from that I-ness, the sense of individuality, the selfness, the deeper awareness of the self. Never thought to, you never truly thought to relieve it, but somehow some thoughts or some things that you did it, you got expelled. It is the feeling and desire aspect of the self, the unbalanced human consciousness that excels itself into the dark by identifying the body and the sensory world. Through disciplined thinking and the balance of the feeling and desire, one redeems over self and recenters the earth, and finding the peace and understanding once more through the disciplined thinking and balance of the feeling and desire. So when you are doing the disciplined thinking and balance of the feeling and desire, and one redeems the oneself and the other redeems the light. So it is finding one it is redeeming the one self side and other is redeeming the right side. This is perfect understanding. Compassion for humanity. So once you understand, then you will have a lot of compassion. Array, these people are not knowing it. They're going after the senses. Let me explain. So that's in the light, one sees the human suffering and clearly how people unaware of their true nature and enslaved by their dates and fears. So they're always living in the fear. The awakened being feels deep love and compassion, but also the clarity that no one can have another. Each must awaken through their own right thinking. Right thinking means what? Right thinking is grounded in the light and reason. Is the only one of the sorrow that the path was freedom. Thinking grounded in the light and reason is the only cure for the sorrow and the path. So whenever you are actually without thinking about the light or reasoning, if you are thinking with the sorrow with the bodily mind, that is the reason for your sorrow, that is the reason for your all negative emotions. Once you started thinking out of it, then this is the path for your freedom. That's what he's saying. The illusion of saving others. Then you will feel that I want to save others because I understood something. This is also an illusion. Like some other session I heard, because recently the Michael Singer, when I went, right, he's saying, Jesus Christ did not save the world. Lord Rama did not save the world. Krishna did not save the world. Even Satyavanta did not save the world. Who are you? Why are you thinking that you and me can save the world? So, forget about saving the world because each one came with their karmic bondage and they have to fulfill that and go. So, no worries about it. This will have an exception like a prophet, teachers, or sagas. They were very well written and they are actually seeking this. They are the one who seek the truth, right? So it is not that they are not illusion of others. Are they should not sit quiet. They have to help others, but not all others. That's what he is saying. Distorted into the fear-based religions. What happened because of this illusion? You all distorted into the fear-based religions. What is fear-based? So if you do this is okay. If you don't do this will not happen. This is the kind of things. The twisted into the doctrines of selfishness and control and used to create the division and wars. Thus, save others by imposing the help only the depths and their own bondage. Save others by imposing help only deepens their bonding. True help is showing the way, not walking it others. True help is what? Showing the way, but not helping the others. Show the way. Don't help, don't walk with them. Don't hold their hand and take them. Just show the way. This is the tool. This is the meditation is the one tool. This is a Sajjan Sangatya is a one tool, and this book reading is one tool. Show them the tools, but you cannot go and sit with them. You cannot baby them in the spirituality. Mankind awakens only when they tire of endless sensations and began to desire self-knowledge. Only this particular mankind awakens when everything is going fine with all the good things. Then this mankind will, because they will be indulged into those pleasures. When it will awaken, when those things were started, when the hard time started, then only the mankind will try to awaken. The role of experience of unthinking. The seeker realizes that everything that are now their awareness, wisdom, and liberation is a result of their own thinking and experience. Everything. The seeker is realizing everything that are now their awareness. It could be wisdom or liberation. Anything is its own thinking only. The pain of sensation and the process of detachment from the nature were necessary steps towards understanding. You need to have this pain, because whenever you are separating, this is not all these through years, 40, 50 years, this phone is mine, this is mine, that is mine, that is mine. So everything is mine to the body consciousness. In order to suddenly just release everything, it is a difficult, it is a pain. You need to go through that pain. So once you started giving away that pain, once you understand that all I need is a self knowledge, through the true self knowledge, are one freed from the symphony of the life. What is the life symphony? When you are freed, no longer suffering with others. You are not going to suffer with others, but helping them from the light and understanding. You will not suffer, but you will help them with the light and understanding. You will not held hand and go, but you will try to guide them. Freedom from self delusion. Self delusion occurs when one allows attraction, repulsion, preferences, prejudices, and thinking. So, when all these things is happening, then there is some kind of selfishness will come. But with the self knowledge, when you started, then the self delusion will be gone, because you will think that everybody is having the same consciousness. That's where that knowledge will come. Then you will not judge anybody. Once freed from these influences, the seeker is no longer damaged, slipping back into the ignorance. Once free from these influences, once you free from all the influences, then the nature is dimmed, because nature, like, you are not with the nature. So, and whenever you are giving your projection to the nature, nature is becoming very bright, and because your attention, your light, you are giving to the nature. Now you withdraw all the senses from the nature and you keep it on your thinking, then the nature will become dull. That's what they recognize, that attachments, the nature one dimmed their perception. So previously these ornaments stores or the all other stores, we used to be very very rushed, let us take. And once you come to this kind of thing, all these are the external things which are not important. When you perceived what you want to perceive, then all these things will be dimmed. Right? Similarly, in our body also, when we don't want is this whatever that we got it from India, when we don't want it or don't need it, basically, because with that kind of understanding, until and unless you are with the small kids, this thing, right? I don't want this kind of thing. I don't want any material possessions kind of thing will happen. So that is the freedom. That's a self delusion, freedom, self. Seeing the attachments as the thoughts. Now you started seeing what are your thoughts. If I just like Sirisha, so there's a kind of emotion that I'm just giving. So that's a kind of emotion. That's a kind of attachment. Every difficulty faced on earth as a result of unbalanced thought, every difficulty that faced on the earth, right, it is comes out of some unbalanced thought. Okay. Each thought acted as a bar or a chain connecting to the self of the nature. Let us take somebody thought, by sitting at home, I wanted to connect with my grandfather, or somebody thought like a wife or somebody, right? So they invented the phone. Then somebody wants to have that mobile phones. Then they have invented, because it is all the thought that they got it, and then so many people collectively together they worked on it, that idea. So later they said, oh, why can't I see them and do it? FaceTime came. Okay, this is all likewise. Everything is a thought. Once it is get balanced, then you will be going into that balanced thought direction. Otherwise, you will be ended up, you just learned few things, you came up to the stage 1, 2, 3, 4, but then second time when you go there and wanted to achieve something, you will just grab what is required and then you'll start. That's how the things will happen. The work of balancing thoughts. What is that balancing of the thoughts? What should be done? We should aid, with the aid of the reasoning, mind gains clarity and the order. So with the aid of the reaction, the mind gets the clarity and reaction. It reach summons of all thoughts. It reaches summons of all thoughts one by one and to be continued with the nature, right? So continue. Thoughts for curing human sorrow. So remember the balanced thoughts. How do you? Is this thought is curing the human sorrow and difficulty? Are you thinking in that direction? Or is this thought is coming from matter, form, cosmic design? Or is this thought is coming from the purpose of universe? What is this thought? You try to analyze. Then you can balance the thought. Each of these is recognized as originally conceived in ignorance and destined to dissolution. So originally they all came with the, whenever you are thinking, oh, it came as a purpose, and then you have to dissolve it, you will understand. Integration and enlightenment. Each thought is balanced. Once each thought is balanced, a part of be or part of you belonging to the nature returns to its light. So there is 100 thoughts, let us take. Out of that one thought, you could balance it. So that particular portion, you will see that, okay, I'm not filling up with anything. I balanced this thought. So once you balance whatever thing that has happened, it has happened for the sake of me, because without giving me, nothing will come back. So like that, through this process, the door learns all that can be learned from the experience with the nature. So through this process, the doer can learn from all the things, from the experience, from the nature. The being now knows what to do and what not to do, with what reason they have to do it. Once it comes to that stage, he is nothing but an enlightened being. This is a culmination of understanding. All places understanding. The point where the seeker becomes with the seeker, where he is with his reasoning and with his light, reasoning and the light. So what is the summary here in this 23rd point? The human condition is a self-created dream, born and identified with the senses. It is a self-created, but once you come out, it is identified with its senses. Liberation comes through conscious thinking, aligned with the reasoning, balancing of all past thoughts, and detaching with the sensation. Whatever the thoughts, past thoughts, you are detaching them from your sensation. Compassion remains, but without any emotional bondage. Usually the sympathy will be replaced by compassion, and the bondage will be replaced by the nishkama karma, without expecting anything, doing it. That's how you will start doing it. The seeker becomes very conscious, mindful, free living. Live in the world but not bound by it. Live in this world but not bound by the world. Establish in light, peace, and understanding. Establish the light, peace, and understanding. So this is the summary of this, not the summary, this is the points that we discussed in this 23rd point, right? So here, what are the things that we learn? First thing we learned is summary. Now I'm just summarizing. Dream of lives. What are the dreams of the lives? You are identifying with your body identification. You are hypnotized with the body identification. That is in that stage you see that the lives, you see that dreams. So once you are just going to the light, you see that all these lives are dreams only. Each life is a dream because you perceive it with the sensory thinking. What is the next stage? Awakening. Once you are with the light, next stage is awakening. Think everything with the reason. So it dissolves. All your illusions will get dissolved. You are back to the light. You are returning with your light. So once you awaken, the next stage is compassion. Each humanity is suffering. But you will not go and help them. Instead, you may show the light. You may show that way to go. So each must awaken themselves. You cannot awaken somebody. If somebody can awaken you, all these gurus that came into this world must have awakened the world. But it is not happening, right? So you can only awaken yourself. You can, by awakening yourself, by seeing your behavior, by seeing your nature, somebody can take inspiration. Somebody may follow that path and get enlightened. But you cannot do anything. Okay. No sympathy, no bondage, no emotional identification. That's the mastery that you got on the life. Only acts for a reason. Then once you got that kind of a mastery, your thoughts are balanced. All the unbalanced thoughts are now faced that phase and got balanced. Thought is both bondage and freedom. Once you are having a thought, it is giving a this is mine. I like this, I dislike this. So thought is always a bondage. So completion, all the natural lessons, whatever the lessons that we need to learn from the nature, we all learned. Then this is your completion. Lives. Then you are just came back with your light. You are free from your birth death cycles, right? You are free from that. So now we have few minutes. We will see what is the thing that we have to reflect. We started that, right? What is the thing that we have to do that? So how we can from the awaken from the dream state. We are in the dream state, then hypnotized state, from to awaken to enlightenment. That's what we need to come, right? So how do we do that? So morning reflection. What is that morning theme? Awaken from the dream, life through self knowledge. You can only awaken the dream of the life through self knowledge only. Morning reflection. Whenever you awaken that day, right? Remember that every life that you have lived, whatever the life that you lived, every joy, sorrow, victory, defeat, all the things you just remember once. So that is the dream is going through. Remember, this is all the dream because you got attracted to the nature. That's why you are in the dream. Now think that you are the light. The light came. You are supreme conscious. You are that being. You see that your identification of the body with the senses, right? So when you are with the light, you will see that those lives, you identify your body with the senses. You identified body with your roles, father, mother, wife, or whatever, husband. So these are the roles you identified, and you hypnotized yourself that you are that role and you are supposed to do that. You hypnotized yourself. So today, think with the reasoning, not through these senses. Think with the reasoning. Today, affirm yourself. I will not go by my role. I will not go by my body. Affirm yourself. Okay. I am a consciousness. I will not go by my senses. Whenever I'm thinking that I'm going by, return to the awareness. I am a conscious one. I'm not never broken. I am there thousands of years. When the earth started, I was there, and now also I am there. That kind of affirmation, take it in the morning. And midday awareness. When I see the struggle and sorrow in the middle day, as the day progress, you see some struggle and sorrow, right? You remind myself. You remind yourself because they are feeling sorrow, they are feeling a struggle because they are dreaming. They are dreaming this life with the senses. That is why they are feeling. You remind yourself. Compassion does not mean join their suffering. You need not go and join their suffering. It means radiate the light through, show them way. If somebody is in the dark, you go and sit in the dark, right? You will bring some light and then you bring them up. That's the thing. Here also, that's what he is saying. Bring those light. Each must be awakened by their own effort. Each one must awaken by their own effort, just as you did it, or just as we must do it for ourselves. So that is so. Whenever somebody is suffering, you need not go and jump on it and then tell them. Right thinking is true service, silent, study, free from attachment. You should be silent, study, and free from. Don't get attached to anybody. Oh, my people are suffering. If you think means again you caught up with that nature attractiveness. So do not go into that. Each one has their own talent, their own thing. They will come out of it. Evening introspection, even if it comes to the evening. As I reflect on my body, I observe where I pull into the nature. So you will start observing where I am pulling into the nature. By our preference or by our impulsion or by emotion, we are pulled into the nature. Where actually I am pulling? You try to check on yourself. Each unbalanced thought that arose was bond. That was the bond trying the world of dreams. By recognizing it, you try to balance it. Thinking without attachment. Think that without attachment, it gives you a freedom. Balance and restores the light. Okay. Silent contemplation. Always contemplate yourself. I am the light. I am the light, thinking with the righteousness and reasoning. I am awakened dream. I am not in a dream. I am awakened dream. So where do I act today? So write out your journal. Did I act this with the attachment or with the aversion, liking or disliking? Did I balance my thought or not? Did I use my light there to balance the thought or not? In what way I confused? In this way, so am I confused my compassion with enlightenment? So always question these things within yourself. By closing, means closing whenever you're closing the day, freedom is not escape from the world. It is right understanding being within it. Not going Himalayas and say, oh, I'm escaping and I'm myself, I'm enlightened being. No. There you are not actually being with so many people. You will, when there is nothing to worry about it, right? So somebody is giving you food and you are just doing it. There's no chance of drifting away. But being in nature, if you can understand and deal with it, that's actually the enlightenment. Every balanced thought frees the part of you. Every balanced thought, one part of you, it frees from illusion. When all the thoughts are balanced, when all your thoughts are balanced, that's where you are living in a light, awake, serene, and you are becoming one whole. That is that is the whole thing that is going to happen. Okay. With this, I'll stop. You can reflect every day and you can write it out. We'll stop here because point number 20.